The night I found out my husband was lying to me, the rain wouldn't stop falling. I still remember standing in my kitchen at almost midnight, staring at the cold cup of coffee in my hands while my phone kept vibrating on the counter. Daniel was working late again. That's what he had been saying for months. Working late. Business dinners. Client meetings. At first, I believed him because that's what love does. It teaches you to trust someone even when your heart quietly begs you not to. I met Daniel 8 years earlier at a bookstore downtown. He smiled at me like I was the only woman in the world, and for a long time, I truly believed I was. We built a beautiful life together. A house with white curtains, I picked myself. Sunday breakfasts, long drives with music playing softly while he held my hand at every red light. Or maybe that was only my version of the story. Because slowly, things changed. He stopped looking at me when I talked. His phone was always face down. He laughed at messages he never shared. Some nights, he came home smelling like expensive perfume that definitely wasn't mine. Still, I ignored the signs. I kept telling myself, marriage has hard seasons. Until one evening changed everything. That night, Daniel forgot his smartwatch. On the bathroom sink before rushing out, it kept lighting up with notifications while I folded laundry nearby. I wasn't trying to snoop. I swear I wasn't. But then her message appeared. Last night was perfect. I miss you already. My entire body froze. I stared at the screen for what felt like forever, hoping I had misunderstood it somehow. Maybe it was an old message. Maybe it wasn't what it looked like. But deep down, I already knew. When Daniel came home that night, he kissed my forehead casually and asked, "You still awake?" I looked at him carefully. The man I had defended for months stood there smiling at me like nothing had happened, and something inside me shattered. I wanted to scream. I wanted to throw the watch across the room. But instead, I smiled softly and said, "Yeah, I was waiting. For you." Because in that moment, I realized something important. The truth doesn't destroy relationships. The lies do. But what Daniel didn't know was that his betrayal had just opened a side of me he had never seen before. A quieter side, colder side, and before the story ended, he was going to face every single thing he tried to hide. For the next few days, I pretended everything was normal. I still made breakfast. I still kissed him goodbye before work. I still laughed during dinner when he told fake stories about stressful meetings. But inside, I was falling apart. Every lie felt like another crack in my chest. The hardest part wasn't even the cheating. It was realizing how easily he could look into my eyes and lie without hesitation. One afternoon, while Daniel showered upstairs, his phone buzzed on the couch beside me. Normally, he guarded that phone like it contained national secrets, but this time, he had forgotten it. The message preview was enough. "Are you telling her this weekend?" My hands trembled. I shouldn't have opened it. But after months of doubt and sleepless nights, I needed the truth more than I needed peace. What I found destroyed me. Photos, hotel reservations, voice messages, plans for trips he claimed were business, conferences. There were even conversations where he complained about me. "She's too emotional lately. I feel trapped. I can't leave yet because of the house." I felt sick. 8 years together. And somehow I had become an inconvenience in my own marriage. That night, I locked myself in the bathroom and cried silently into a towel so he wouldn't hear me. I looked at my reflection and barely recognized the woman staring back. I had spent so much time trying to save our marriage that I forgot to save myself. But pain changes people, and little by little, heartbreak turned into clarity. I stopped asking myself why I wasn't enough. Instead, I started asking why I had accepted so little. That was the moment everything shifted. I wasn't going to beg Daniel to love me. I wasn't going to scream or compete with another woman. No, I was going to let the truth speak for itself. Quietly, I started preparing. I gathered screenshots, bank statements, hotel receipts, messages, every lie carefully organized into folders. Not because I wanted drama, but because I wanted freedom. Then I discovered something even worse. Daniel had been secretly moving money from our shared account into another account I didn't know existed. That betrayal hit differently. Cheating breaks your heart, but betrayal mixed with manipulation destroys your sense of safety. Suddenly, I realized this wasn't just about another woman anymore. Daniel had been planning an exit while I was still fighting for us. So I made a decision. If he wanted to destroy our marriage in secret, then I would make sure he faced the truth in daylight. Week later, Daniel announced we should host a dinner party for our close friends and family. He said we had been distant lately and needed positivity around us again. The irony almost made me laugh. He had no idea I already knew everything. That night, while helping set the table, he wrapped his arms around me and whispered, "Thank you for always being patient with me." For a second, my chest tightened, because part of me still loved him. And honestly, that was the most painful part of all, loving someone who destroyed you. But what Daniel didn't realize was that the woman standing in front of him wasn't weak anymore. She was done surviving. Now she was ready to expose the truth. The dinner party started like any normal evening. Soft music played in the background. Wine glasses clinked. Everyone laughed while Daniel played the role of the perfect husband. Watching him smile so comfortably while carrying so many lies made my stomach turn. His parents were there, our closest friends too. Even his business partner sat across the table talking about loyalty and trust like the universe was mocking me on purpose. Halfway through dinner, Daniel stood up with his glass raised. "I just want to thank everyone," he said warmly. "Especially my wife. She's been my biggest supporter through everything." I looked at him quietly while everyone smiled at us. And then I stood up too. "Actually," I said softly, "there's something I'd like to share tonight." The room fell silent. Daniel's smile faded slightly. I walked toward the television mounted on the wall and connected my phone. My hands were shaking, but my voice stayed calm. "I spent months believing I was losing my husband because of stress," I said. But the truth was, I was losing him because he had already chosen someone else. Then the screen lit up. Messages, photos, hotel bookings, transfers from our shared account. The entire room froze. Daniel immediately stood up. "Emma, stop." "No," I interrupted. "You've had enough control over this story." His face turned pale as message after message appeared on the screen. Some people looked uncomfortable. Others looked shocked. His mother started crying quietly. And for the first time in months, Daniel looked exactly how I had felt all along. Exposed, cornered, broken by the truth. "I loved you," I said, my voice trembling now. "I defended you even when my heart knew something was wrong. But you didn't just betray me. You made me question my own worth." Daniel tried to explain himself, but nobody was listening anymore, because lies lose their power once the truth enters the room. That night changed everything. We divorced 3 months later. His affair partner left soon after the scandal spread through his workplace and social circles. His business reputation suffered badly after financial questions started surfacing too. And me? I finally started rebuilding my life. Slowly, painfully, but honestly. I went back to therapy, reconnected with old friends, started painting again, something I had abandoned years earlier while trying to be the perfect wife. And somewhere, between the heartbreak and healing, I found myself again. Not the version of me that depended on someone else's love, but the stronger version built from surviving betrayal. Sometimes people ask me if exposing Daniel gave me satisfaction. The truth? Revenge didn't heal me, but honesty did. Because staying silent would have destroyed me far more than losing him ever could. And if there's one thing I learned through all of this, it's this. When someone breaks your trust, it's not your job to destroy them. Eventually, their own choices will do that for you. My only job was to finally choose myself.